It's got some punch. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little shakedown flight on the new GEPRC 5 HD build that I did yesterday, and make sure that it flies. And I'm going to take the goggles with me just to record the flight, but I'm not going to fly it through the goggles. I'm just going to do a little line of sight flight, run a packer through to it to make sure that everything is good. It's soldered. It's not going to fall apart. So we need a battery. There's the quad, and it's all done, completely done with the props. I mounted the little lost drone finder down right in there, and it really came out nice. So let's wipe the lens off the camera and get the goggles here. I got the radio and a battery, and let's head outside and see what happens here. Okay, it's always a little nerve-wracking flying a new quad, which is why I'm not going to do anything with it that's at all dramatic. Basically, just going to put it up in the air a little bit, hover it, maybe do a punch out or two, and see what happens. It's a pretty day out here, so I'm using my cardboard landing pad here that I use. Very expensive Amazon cardboard box. So we will put the drone down here. First thing I'm going to do is turn my radio on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All the switches are in the right place. And get a battery for the quad. Let's see here. And put it in this way. That through there. It goes in like that. We'll center it up right about there. Put this wire, the balancing wire, underneath the strap to keep it from flapping in the propellers. And there we go. Let's slide this strap back as far as it goes. That looks about right. And there it is. The battery in there, transmitter's turned on, so we will turn on, we'll plug in the battery here.
0 volts.
Okay, make sure it's plugged in all the way. It is, it's out of the way of the props. Okay, and switch my page to telemetry and wait till I get a GPS signal. In the meantime, we'll power up the goggles and see if I got a picture through the goggles. So let's take the goggles. Got all the antennas on them, and we will set them down here, power them up. Hear the fan going, take a look through them, and I do see a picture. So Okay, got an SD card in it. Nice little breezy day for this, but I got a GPS fix, and of course now the wind starts kicking up like crazy, but that's all right. We're not going to do anything dramatic with it. So here we go, and I am connected to it, and we'll arm it. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I want to move the sticks a little and see what happens. I'm going to move the stick to the right. It does to the right. To the left, up, down. Okay, so in the stabilized mode, just gonna take it off and hover it a little bit and see what happens. Doesn't feel heavy on the sticks at all. Oh, it flies. So let's just fly it around here for a little while and see what it looks like. It's windy. Feels good. It's got some punch. Actually, it feels pretty good. I certainly don't know if the PIDs are tuned or not, but it certainly flies okay. Oh, it's really windy. Of course it's windy, because I'm test flying this thing. So I think it's drifting with the wind. I don't think it's drifting on its own. The wind is kind of coming from my back here. It looks like it's flying okay. It's fairly quiet. Sounds pretty smooth. Well, so far no motors or propellers have come flying off the thing, so I guess it's handling its shakedown trip okay. Let's see if the motors are hot. That would be the next test, to see if the motors are hot. Not just barely warm. Boy, that's terrific. That means that the filtering and everything is probably okay. Good deal. What do I got? Voltage. I've got 15.36 volts left. Still got plenty of time. So let's fly it some more. Anyway, the purpose of this flight is not really to do anything fancy or dramatic. To just let it run a while. Let it run through a pack and make sure that make sure that everything keeps working, nothing comes loose. I'm sure it's probably going to be okay, but it really flies very well. Throttle feels good. The curve feels about right. It's not too touchy down at the bottom end. It hovers pretty nicely, and it's hovering at about 40% stick, which is about what I want. Hopefully tomorrow morning, if it's not windy, I'm gonna like to take it over to that office park and fly an FPV flight in acro mode. And let me just 14.5. Oh, I'm getting down to almost where I probably should get a warning from the radio. I think I've got it set at like 14 volts, which is 3.5 volts a cell, to tell me that, read me out a voltage warning. All right, I think that's probably going to do it. And shut it down. Motors are barely warm. That's terrific. Okay, let's unplug it. Very good. Success. Had a successful flight. And that's about all I want to do on this day with gusty winds kicking up. Turn off the radio. And now we will turn off the goggles. And I'll go in the house and review the both the goggle video, which might not be too good because the goggles were sitting down. There goes the emergency quad finder, which starts beeping 30 seconds after you unplug the battery, which is what it's supposed to do. So let's go here and press the button on it and shut it up. Actually press the button. Not the easiest thing to get to. Gotta figure out how to get to this button. Come on. There we go. Got it now. Okay. That works. Fabulously expensive landing pad, goggles, battery, and goggles. And that was it. So did accomplish what I wanted to today, and that was to make sure that this thing actually flew. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty good performing quad based on the punch out that I did. So we will call that a success.